Welcome to Ashcroft's Fine Goods and Imports. I am Fillion Ashcroft, proprietor and expert on all... let me see. Yes, a fine vintage. Very fine indeed. I may have sold a bottle or two recently, but I don't make a habit of discussing my clients' orders. What? I had no idea! Lady Arabelle is one of my best customers. I swear on my reputation, that wine left this shop unaltered. In fact, I only made one sale that included this particular vintage recently. Oh, this is awkward. Castle Navir Seneschal placed the order, claimed he needed to replenish the cellars for Duchess Alea, and demanded I sell back the wine I had purchased from them. That exact vintage, to be precise. You'll want to talk to them.
Lady Arabelle's assistant? How good to see you again. But I don't remember your name on my schedule. Do tell. Well, go ahead. After everything you've done for the people of the archipelago, you've earned the right to be direct with me. Lady Arabelle poisoned? Is she all right? But what was that about wine? I haven't placed any orders recently. Not while the castle is still in disrepair. And I haven't appointed a new seneschal since that trouble with Steward Hercian. Again? I thought my knights ran them off after that terrible business with my brother. Thank you for bringing me the news. I'll send a battalion to deal with them right away. I know how this must look, but I am not in league with those malcontents. Did he? Well, I want the Ascendant Lord brought to justice, the same as you. That wine that poisoned Lady Arabelle, was it a Dufort Singular Amber? Vintage 571? I received a similar gift this morning. It's in the Knight Commander's private chamber. The Knight Commander insisted that the anonymous gift be tested before I consumed so much as a drop. It's in her private chamber, waiting for one of my handmaidens to come by and taste it. Feel free to perform your— There's not much to say. It arrived without fanfare, with an anonymous note. The vintage was my father's. We depleted our own stores of that vintage a long time ago. But everyone at court knows I was fond of that wine. We opened— What do you think? Did someone send me the same gift that poisoned poor Lady Arabelle? As we discussed, and you no doubt noticed, the letter was unsigned. My Knight Commander insisted on having someone else— Hold on. Earlier you mentioned that the shopkeep claimed that my seneschal placed an order for a large amount of wine. While we did no such thing, one of my sentries informed me that a courier had arrived with an unscheduled delivery. Then your answer may be right outside. I told the sentry to have them wait by the jousting tents until I was ready to deal with the mix-up. Someone has gone to a lot of trouble to try and remove both myself and Lady Arabelle from the table, to sow confusion and weaken House Dufort, of course. I fear we'll find the Ascendant Lord's hand on the tiller of most of—
Are you from the castle? Can I finally make my delivery and be done with this damn job? Ashcrofts? No. Some hooded figures hired me to take some crates to an isolated spot up north. That's where I met another hooded figure. He helped unload my wagon, gave me the crates for Castle Navir, and told me to make the delivery. No names. Just enough gold to make me not want to ask any questions. You did hear me say we were in an isolated location, right? Right below the cliffs of Garrick's Rest. Look, I know how all this sounds, but I needed this job.
Five Claw! Zaji has found you! Lady Arabelle wasn't improving, so Zaji went to find Druid Rivana. Do not worry, Five Claw. Casca stands guard at Mandrake Manor. Instead of Druid Rivana wants you to come to her workshop right away. Do you know where it is? Just west of Gonfalon Bay and north of Druid's Gate. When you see her, remind her that Lady Arabelle still needs the antidote. Oh, that makes Zaji feel much better. It was good to get out of the manor and do something.
Ah, there you are. I hope you've had more success than I, my friend. I thought that I'd be able to replicate an antidote using some of the old recipes in my ancient herbal apothecary, but nothing I've concocted thus far has worked. This poison is proving very resistant to our tried and true elixirs. That's just it. I identified the various plants, root, stem, and leaf. Neither did I, at least not at first. But after careful study, I can see that someone with extensive agriculture... Garrick's Rest. Strange magic saturates the wildlife around those ruins. If that's the source of the... We'll need to proceed carefully once we get to Garrick's Rest. If we are dealing... That sounds like the Ascendant Order. But only a skilled druid could alter... The tincture I provided will slow the poison's spread, but it won't hold off the inevitable forever. She should...
Could be useful supplies in there. Friend, look. It appears something heavy was dragged up and down this hill recently. Do you see? The ground is disturbed, suggesting heavy crates. A door. That's definitely where whatever made the marks came from. Be careful. I don't think we're alone down here.
someone. The Ascendant Order has been hiding here for a while. Lord Bakara was right to be concerned.
Never ends, just like a night.
Stendarr, protect us from harm.
Take a look at that pile of paper. The Ascendant Lord is recruiting disillusioned druids after the events on Galen. Insidious.
A knight never yields!
Those must be the crates the courier delivered. Check the labels. Those were intended for Steadfast Manor. Why deliver them here? See what's inside the Society of the Steadfast Armor. With that, the Ascendant Order could impersonate Steadfast Knights.
With unbridled rage. The time is drawing near.
Look, over on that table. Ascendant Lord gave clear orders to this druid alchemist. We need to find that garden. Is that a key over there? We didn't expect the Ascendant Order to wither away, but I had no idea its roots ran so deep. And it seems they have crept into our most trusted circles. Someone at Steadfast Manor diverted this armor shipment here. We know that the Ascendant Lord allied with factions of the Eldertide and Firesong circles. But to actively promote a sacred druidic prophecy to gain followers, armor that the Ascendant Order can use to impersonate Steadfast Knights. I know Captain Marguerite by reputation, and I assume the key we found will grant us access.
They killed, but a new Food King will rise after.
That door. See if the key we found will unlock it. A druid alchemist's workshop. Let's look around.
Get back, fiends!
Here's how we deal with pests in my garden.
That's what I was looking for. A sister's cave. With these, I should be able to craft an antidote. What did you find over there? I gathered enough of the... That's a shard of the green. I've never seen an intact one before. Now we do exactly what Lady Arabelle would want us to. We follow the clues.
That will be all, Sentry. But what's this? A druid and Lady Arabelle's assistant.
Forgive the intrusion, Captain. My friend will explain.
What brings a druid and Lady Arabelle's most trusted assistant to Steadfast Manor? I'm afraid Lord Bacaro is still on Galen leading the relief effort. Interesting. I was informed that those crates were lost at sea, but I suspected there was more going on than a simple accident. Add to that the minor thefts and intruders my knights keep running off, it seems the Ascendant Order has targeted us. You say you found this with the Ascendant Order? That's one of Lord Bacaro's most prized possessions. He usually keeps it down in the cellars with his collection of trinkets from his adventuring days. Those thieves were bolder than I thought. Claiming the Society provides aid to those in need, but it's evident that the Ascendant Order stole from us. You're Lady Arabelle's investigator. Would you check the cellars and help me determine how? Take this key. It will open the door to the cellars. Just follow the path to the north toward the dock. If the Ascendant Order is stealing from the Society of the Steadfast, we need to know how and why. The Society of the Steadfast's primary charter involves providing relief to those unfortunate enough to be caught up in war. Not officially, no, but Lord Baccaro tells me everything. I handle the day-to-day...
That empty sconce. See the druid symbols carved into it? Check if the shard fits into the socket. Just as I suspected, a hidden door. Let's see what other secrets this manor is hiding. Leading deeper beneath the manor. Let's see what Lord Baccaro is hiding down here. A druid circle. And an ancient one by the looks of it. I want to get a closer look.
I was of some assistance.
This place feels sacred, ancient, somewhere beneath Steadfast Manor. But... somewhere... I'm not sure. But stones as old as these, more often than not, places such as this are forgotten for a reason.
The end of that tale.
Powerful spirits often guard locations such as this. Be careful.
will tell.
Down there. Let's get a closer look. Those carvings. Definitely druidic. Armor. It looks just like the Ascendant Lord, doesn't it? What's the connection here? Why does the Ascendant Order care about this place? And why does Lord Bacaro have a suit of the Ascendant Lord's armor? What? But Lord Bacaro is a man of peace. Why secretly control the very order of rogue knights that are actively trying to destroy everything he's worked for? I don't understand. So he helped foster the conflicts on Galen, then stepped in to help with the Steadfast after the dust settled. All while making alliances with the victors. But his plans failed. No new Druid King has been crowned. Let me see that. Could this be accurate? Could Lord Bacaro be a direct descendant of Druid King Kasserine? Oh no. The carvings. I think I know why this place is important to Lord Bacaro. Examine the carvings. I'll explain what I see in them. Do you see? That's a stylized rendition of the Ivy Throne, with the Druid King's regalia, the crown, staff, and gauntlet below it. Carved above the throne. That's the heraldry of House Mershad. So, Lord Bacaro, the Ascendant Lord, believes he's descended from the last Druid King through his mother's bloodline. He wants to become the Druid King and re-establish the Ivy Throne. In and of themselves, the regalia have no innate power. They're symbols, nothing more. However, the very fact that the sacred seeds have been regrown into the crown, staff, and gauntlet give credence to the prophecy of the Druid King. The dream of Kasserine. The Druids of the archipelago have debated its meaning since it was first uttered so long ago. With the regalia, Lord Bacaro can proclaim that the conditions of the prophecy have been met and that he's the new Druid King. The prophecy holds deep significance for Druids. We've been waiting for its promise to manifest for a long, long time. We have to hurry. I must administer the antidote to Lady Arabelle and warn her of this betrayal. Meet me back at Mandrake Manor. Captain Marguerite's reputation is impeccable, and she seemed unaware of all this. But the same could be said about Lord Bacaro. Until we determine how far this corruption has spread into the Society of the Steadfast, we keep this to ourselves. Lady Arabelle, drink this. It will neutralize the poison. We discovered the source of the poison, and something more. Our friend will tell you.
I knew you wouldn't let me down. Tell me what you uncovered, dear. Ugh. Couldn't you have added a touch of cinnamon or honey to this, Ravana? No matter. I assume I will be hale and hearty again before long. Now, enough with the suspense. Tell me what you've uncovered, dear. The poison must have affected my hearing. Did you say Lord Bacaro is the Ascendant Lord? How can that be? Looking at things from this perspective puts the delays and how the Ascendant Order has managed to stay one step ahead of us in a very different light. But why go through all this trouble? What is Lord Bacaro actually planning? I feel better already. Well done, dear Ravana. As for this business about the Druid King, I read the reports from Galen. Some druids truly believe that the Ivy Throne would be an improvement over the Ruby one. But all this chaos and murder... We've been hesitant for too long, unsure of where the next attack would come from. Now we know. It's coming from inside our circle, from someone we considered an ally, a friend. Take this, my friend. We'll deal with Bacaro soon enough. I can't in good conscience start the peace talks while the Ascendant Lord, the man I knew as Lord Bacaro, is out there doing who knows what. I'm afraid Then we must assume that Count Stefan and Druid Laurel are in danger. If Lord Bacaro truly believes he's the heir to the Ivy Throne of the Druids, he'll stop at nothing to get his way. We must go to Galen and defend the remaining regalia. Druid Ravana and I will get Zaji to sail us to Galen. While we collect the staff from the Stonelore Circle, I want you to go to Count Stefan and protect the Druid King's crown. We'll meet you at Castle Mornar. I'll leave Captains Colleen and Suzo to guard the Alliance leaders while we go to Galen. First we protect... Druid Ravana's elixir has done one...
Docks because the creaking wood reminds me of my old crib. Oh, sorry, is that oversharing?
Troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but something worse is coming, Feda.
I don't seem to be making much progress.
A storm on the horizon.
Search the castle. If there are more rogue knights, I want them in chains.
We routed them from the library, but I'll make sure nothing was damaged or stolen.
I'm glad to see you again, friend. I just wish your arrival didn't... The contingent of knights from the Society of the Steadfast entered the castle. Not in and of itself a concern, we are allies after all. She discovered them ransacking the library. They attacked her, but she was able to fend them off and summon help. The Ascendant Order. The rogue knights that gave you trouble back on High Isle. What would they be seeking in my castle? Then those imposters must have been looking for the Druid King's crown. Come, we need to check the library at once. And later I want to hear— I assumed it would be safe enough locked in a case in the library until I could make other arrangements. We had no reason to believe the relics were in danger. At the docks preparing to receive Lord Baccaro's ship and the relief supplies he promised. It never arrived. I suppose that was all part of the ruse. The library is this way. Damn their eyes, they ransacked the place. Let's see if the case is still here.
Too late, fools. The crown belongs to the Ascendant Order now.
The case is empty. But how do they know to search the library, let alone behind the shelves? They stole the crown right out of my own castle. How is this possible? If you go back far enough, most Bretons have a druid hiding somewhere in their bloodline, but so many records have been lost. How could he be certain? Regardless, why the ruse with the piece? So Baccaro was behind it all. The attempts on the lives of the Alliance leaders, the death of the archdruids of Orlaith may have believed in a new age. But Baccaro is leading us toward the Green Scourge. King Cassarain's prophecy of the return of the Druid King. Go to Glimmertarn and make sure Laurel and the staff are safe. I'll gather what knights I can spare. See if Captain Siravain is willing to aid us once more. I have a feeling we'll need all the help we can get to stop Baccaro and his Ascendant Order. Siravain is a mercenary, but she and her Gilded Blade proved themselves trustworthy against the Dreadsails and the Firesong. I won't know until I ask. And if she refuses, you'll still have...
Fowl or fish? Both are on the menu today.
Druidkin! Oh, thank Evray you're here.
Drake,
Something terrible.
I think
has
I'd
happened.
see this one
This
day.
way.
Rot in damnation! Lord Baccaro, he betrayed us! Lord Baccaro and a contingent of steadfast knights arrived with their usual crates of supplies. He took me aside, warned me that the Ascendant Order was after the Druid King's regalia. Blight it all. But I did just what you'd expect. He's our ally. Or I thought he was. We tried to resist, but we were no match for his knights. Then Baccaro displayed the regalia, proclaimed himself the Druid King and commanded Free to follow him. And they did. That's when Lady Arabelle arrived. Wait, Stefan, is he all right? As soon as I explained what happened, Lady Arabelle and her companions went after Baccaro. I told them we saw him leading Free toward Ifray's path. I stayed behind to tend to the wounded. But this smacks of the Green Scourge. I'll go with you. How should I know how that blighter thinks? Lady Arabelle told me that he's the Ascendant Lord, which now makes sense. As soon as he revealed his treachery, his knights threw off their cloaks and revealed themselves to be the Ascendant Order. I'm not sure. Other than Orlaith, no one else has ever attempted to claim the title. At least not to my knowledge. In every way. Everything I know tells me the Druid King can command nature. It's from the dream of Kasserine. The prophecy of the Druid King. One choice. The blessing of the Green Reward. Or the curse of the Green Scourge. One ushers in an age of harmony with nature. The other predicts a world under siege by an angry and vengeful wilderness. The Druids have argued about that for generations. From what you found at Ivyheim, it's clear Kasserine believed the reward would come when the circles reunited and selected a new king, while a usurper would summon the Scourge. A tyrant like Bacaro. How should I know how that blighter...
We lost Bacaro in Ifray's path. Lady Arabelle is still out there.
Thank you, Nairon. The Druidkin and I will take it from here. As soon as I explain... As soon as I
Upstart Stonelord.
over there. That's one of Lady Arabelle's companions.
Five Claw! Oh, thank the moons! The others... Lady Arabelle is very brave. Barely recovered from nearly dying, and oh, Zaji decided to wait out here for you. Oh, thank you, Five Claw. Zaji will go back to the Druid village and wait for you there.
They went this way. Look, that's the giant cat that accompanied Lady Arabelle.
Good to smell you, Five Claw. Rivanna thinks Bacaro... Rivanna told me to wait here. She wanted to make sure that Druid Laurel or whoever came after us knew where to go. She doesn't know what the Ascendant... They headed west and followed Bacaro into Ifre's path. Bacaro left some knights behind to slow... Now that you're here, I'll head back too. I could be more helpful at the Druid village than in a cramped cabin.
The ruins on the western wall of the hollow. That's got to be where everyone headed.
Be nice to get off my feet.
Over here, my friend. Lady Arabelle followed them through that door. Lady Arabelle said you'd find us. Told me to wait here and point the way. She followed Bacaro, the Ascendant Lord, through that door over there. Go help her. I'm still not sure she's... just speculation, really. Ifre's path, the Stone Lore Circle at least, will never accept his claim. Not unless forced to. She's definitely on the mend, but she should be resting. Running...
All these plants were recently torn away. This door must have been hidden for ages. That's Lady Arabelle. What's she doing?
Careful, dears, and watch where you step. Now, don't be alarmed, dear, but I happen to have stepped where I shouldn't have. I suppose I owe Druid Ravana an apology. The lingering... a pressure plate, I think. Some sort of trap put here who knows when, and by who knows who. That can wait, though. I followed Lord Bacaro in here. The nature spirit? Yes, they were here. I couldn't quite tell if they were a prisoner or not. Oh, I agree. But that's not going to be done quickly. And as long as I remember...
Don't move, Lady Arabelle. Let me see what I can do.
Not a muscle, dear lady. Go, my friend. Find Bacaro and free.
Don't let them reach the ritual site! Ascending Knight, fire bomb ally. The prophecy demands it.
There are none left to stand against us.
We shall start by punishing the Stone Lord. Servant of Ifray, come forth! Obey your king. Destroy the Stone Lord Circle and their allies. The reign of the Druid King begins here. Kill the intruders.
Come back here, Vaccaro, you coward!
Interesting. An old druidic summoning chamber. I want to examine these carvings.
Damn my clumsiness. If not for the fact that we were delayed by that trap, we could have been here to help. I assume this was at least in part a test of sorts, to see if he could actually call forth a spirit and command it. Plus, somewhere he can further strengthen and consolidate his power, especially since he knows—
These carvings tell an interesting story. Take a look, my friend. This carving shows the Druid King binding a spirit into Mount Firesong. This carving depicts the spirit slumbering within the volcano. See the Druid King's regalia? This carving indicates a possible future. See how the spirit awakens and the volcano erupts? It's a warning.
I always say,
ancient druids called upon the spirits of the green at their own peril. Only the Druid King was ever able to do so safely. It's why we abandoned the practice long ago. Like so much of the ancient knowledge that remains, these carvings are open to interpretation. Very much so. And the spirit must be extremely powerful. Ancient druids called— Like so much of the ancient— Very much so. I think Vaccaro plans to call forth the spirit of Mount Firesong with the Druid King's regalia.
if we're going to stop Vaccaro, we're going to need help. Go to Castle Mornard and rally Count Stefan's knights. I'll make sure the rest of us are ready.
Troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but something worse is coming, Feda.
I feel it too, like a dark storm on the horizon.
I hope you'll reconsider. This threat endangers us all.
The Gilded Blades aren't mercenaries to call on to clean up your mess, Count Stefan.
My knights are ready, but Captain Siravane isn't convinced she wants to join us in this particular fight. But never mind that. His druid Damn it all to oblivion! At least Laurel is alright. I've assembled what knights I can spare, but we could really use Siravane and the Gilded Blades. Maybe you can convince her to help. I'd appreciate it. I've been banging my head against that particular wall for hours now.
I can never get enough of the food you landbound eat. It's so delicious. The Lordling sent you over to convince me to help, didn't he? My answer is the same. And that concerns me how, exactly? If druids want a king or not, that's their business, not mine. See, just because our purposes aligned once doesn't mean we'll sail side by side forever, mercenary. We both wanted Narlo stay. That is certainly something I hadn't considered. I do like the safe haven that the Lordling has provided us with. And what was that about allies?
I knew you'd come around, Siravane. Let's meet at the Vastir docks.
On the move.
We tap our toes.
It's good to see you, dear. And is that Count Stefan? Glad House Mornard could join us, Your Excellency. Captain Zoji's ship is ready to sail. Next stop, Ifalon.
Just seem to like the rain.
Come, dear. We have plans to make. Laurel, Ravana, and I talked during the voyage. If Lord Bacaro truly means to awaken the spirit of the volcano, he's going to need to do it from inside Mount Firesong. And since he knows we're coming, he'll throw... Sleight of hand, my dear. Count Stefan and Captain Siravane landed... Laurel wasn't sure, but she thinks she remembers a cave.
The Ascendant Order's forces pulled back to the main entrance into the mountain. Siravane and her pirates went after them.
Get back, fiends.
Ascendant Order barnacles are cowards. They flee at the first sign of a worthy opponent.
The spot Laurel mentioned should be just ahead. The cave Laurel suggested. It must be behind those vines. This tunnel cuts deep into the mountain. Hopefully it will lead us to Lord Bacaro. Firesong druids. Proceed with caution, dear.
The Druid King calls forth the spirit of the volcano. Soon our enemies will perish in lava and flame.
Bacaro has started. We have to hurry.
Pleasure in killing. Good we're alive and they're not.
Look over there. That's Druid Laurel's nature spirit. We have to help her.
Don't stop, my brothers and sisters. The spirit of the volcano stirs.
lava is rising. We don't have much time.
Wind vortex. Must summon. Keep them back while I sing. Now, friends! Step into the wind vortex. Bakaro wields the regalia. He commands the spirit to awaken, and now the volcano awakens too.
Lord Bakaro truly is insane. Stay with Bree, my friend. I need to warn the others.
The false king is farther up the mountain. I will help in any way I can. promises ignored. The false king must pay.
Not by you, not by the nature spirit. Look how the very mountain obeys me. Spirit of the volcano, send your avatars to destroy my enemies.
The spirit created an avatar. Defend yourself, little friend.
Once unleashed, it cannot be controlled.
Spirit of Mount Fire Song, give me the power to destroy my enemies. I am Lord Bacaro, the Ascendant Lord, the Druid King. Soon, the alliances will be nothing but cinders and ash!
He joined with the spirit. Now the volcano will follow its nature. It will explode. Over here, I will summon another wind vortex. Step into the wind before the lava consumes us. The spirit has been restrained for too many seasons. It wants to. The false king is farther up the mountain. I will help in any way I can. no pleasure in killing. I'm glad we're alive and they're not.
You're wounded. Be careful.
No more alliances. No more Ruby Throne. The era of the Ivy Throne begins now!
Destroy the shards and I will absorb their essence. As the wind clears the air and rain. Ancient promises ignored. False king must pay. Ancient promises ignored.
First you, then all who oppose the Ivy Throne.
Ancient their essence. The volcano has no spirit to calm it now. The false king is gone, but so is the spirit of the mountain. Without it, perhaps, if the balance is restored, a new spirit. It means I will calm the volcano before it destroys the archipelago. Attempt to contain most of the damage to Ipholon. But I will need your help. Place the regalia to form a circle around me. Then command me to bind myself to the mountain. You are not the Druid King, but with the regalia and my willingness, the binding should hold. Then I will do what I can to quiet the volcano. I will remain, but I will be different. As the seed becomes a tree, I shall become the spirit of the mountain. And I will slumber, as will Mount Firesong. Now take the crown and the gauntlet and place them around. Quickly, friend. Place the gauntlet and crown to form a ritual circle. Now he is the spirit of Mount Firesong. Now the volcano will be still. Goodbye, friend. Continue.
Ah! Where did you come from, Five Claw? You made Zaji's heart skip a beat, yes?
The volcano erupted, but except for the top of the mountain, Ipholon is intact. I very much want to hear what happened, dear. I got everyone back to the ship before the volcano fully erupted, but even so, I'm surprised we're all still alive. Care to enlighten us about what happened inside Mount Firesong, dear? Free was able to contain all that power. They saved the archipelago, the Alliance leaders, all of us. But where's Free now? Why didn't they return with you? You said they took the place of the spirit. What does that mean? Oh, poor Free. Their sacrifice saved us all. I'll remember them fondly for that. And you're sure Lord Bacaro is defeated? Without their leader, his ascendant order should fade away. But what happened to the Druid King's regalia, dear? It's just as well. As long as the Druids remain divided, they aren't ready for a new king. And I'm not sure how Emmerich and the others would react to another royal in their midst. Well, talk to our friends, dear. Then we should return to Vastir.
That's a whale of a story, mercenary. But I think I prefer having you with me than against me. So, at least for now, you have the respect of the Gilded Blades and their captain. The Gilded Blades handled themselves well, as always. And when Lady Arabelle sounded the warning, we headed to the nearest ship and set sail. For me, that happened to be this one. And your spirit friend decided to stay behind? Is that true? That's intense. Can't say I'd have done the same, but I can respect someone willing to give up their life to save others. It isn't particularly the Sea Elf way, but still. I think I'll drink to free whenever I sail past the mountain. Oh, what a season this has been, my friend. The Ascendant Order, rogue druids, a false druid king, and an ancient nature spirit. All because of a prophecy most of my people barely remember. I'm just glad you were here to help set things right.
I'm sorry we couldn't figure another way to get out of this. Free shouldn't have had to sacrifice themselves to save the rest of us. I'm just glad you stopped Bacaro. Now maybe we can finally start to rebuild Galen. All this death and destruction because Bacaro wanted to dig up some ancient Breton legacy. If I learned anything from my time with the Druids, it's that they don't need a king or a prophecy to make the world a better place. They just need to do it. Don't be silly, of course I do. But that legacy isn't crowns and gauntlets. It's people, born of humans and elves to become something altogether new. It's magic, druids, and knightly orders. That's the Breton legacy I believe in. It's the best of us.
I'm glad you were with Free inside the mountain, my friend. I'll never... Free isn't gone, friend. They've just become something more. As a tree grows from seed to sapling to massive oak, so too has Free transformed. They're still with us, asleep in Mount Firesong, keeping us safe from the power of the volcano. Whenever you want to see Free, just look toward Mount Firesong. They're a part of it now. The spirit of the mountain. I need to tell the druids what happened here. Let them learn the last lesson the sower had to teach us. Sacrifice.
I wish I could have been there with you when you took down Bacaro. I really wanted to rip into him and see what a traitor tastes like. Maybe next time, yes.
Taking that aroma, folks. That's the Chef Razi's guarantee.
Did you hear? I knew it. This was all the fault of those damn druids.
But Count Stefan and that hero from the mainland saved us.
I thought our troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but something worse is coming, Feda.
I feel it too, like a dark storm on the horizon.
Over here, my dear. Count Stefan and I have something for you. You're really making a habit out of saving the archipelago, and of aiding me. Thanks to you, we revealed Lord Bacaro as a traitor, saved the islands from an erupting volcano, and ended the threat of the false Druid King. Well done, my dear. Don't worry about them. Without a leader, they'll quickly fade away. Now we just need to proceed with the peace talks. We're back on track and the archipelago is safe thanks to you. Now take this. Count Stefan and I wanted you to have it. We did well, dear, but the work isn't finished yet. I could use a hand if you're still so inclined. While I return to High Isle and make final preparations for the peace talks to commence, I'll let her give you the details. I will say this, though. You've certainly made an impression on the Stone Lord Druids, dear. Druid Laurel will tell you what she needs. Just don't dawdle. Finish things here, then meet me on High Isle. We've had the Alliance leaders waiting quite long enough, and I have to make some arrangements with the Society of the Steadfast. Despite Lord Bacaro's betrayal, the Society has done good work here in the Sisters and back in Tamriel. I'd hate to lose that, but you're quite correct. I need to determine if... I'll start by meeting with Captain Marguerite. The Society attracted many good people who have done a lot of good work. I won't see that die with Bacaro. I want the organization to continue if at all possible.
May Rupa guide you as you can most of it.
Galen and the entire archipelago owe you a debt, my friend. You have my thanks.
The Druids will never forget.
Druid Laura will tell you what she needs. Just don't dawdle.
Lady Arabelle said she could spare you, and I appreciate the help. Before Free was taken by Lord Bacaro, they gave that they weren't coming back. Free gave me a pouch of soil. They said it was special. They asked me to go to the overlook north of Glimmertarn, to sprinkle the soil from the pouch there. I made a promise. Here, take the pouch of soil. There's a beautiful tree by the overlook, tall and majestic. I think that's the perfect place to honor Free's wishes. I'll meet you there.
What amazing things you accomplished, friend. You saved the leader.
You're a strange one, mercenary. You help a sea elf enact revenge with one hand and...
You did so much for the islands, for the Druids. I'll never forget how you saved us all. Thank you, my friend.
All right. Get ready. I don't do this very often, so pay attention. You did good, Five Claw. I am proud to have fought by your side, and I'm even prouder to call you my friend. That's it.
Zaji is proud to have played a part in defeating the Ascendant Lord and saving the Sisters. Oh, not as large a part as you, Five Claw, but Zaji had a...
Nice. What did you find?
That's the tree. Free was quite fond of it. Go ahead and sprinkle the soil around its base. thought for sure something would happen, but this is wonderful. Friend, let me tell you what Free has done. Did you see what happened, friend? What Free asked us to do with that pouch of soil? It's a miracle. Of course, after everything you've done for us, I still forget sometimes that you're not a druid. Free had a special connection to the sacred seeds. They used their power as a nature spirit, as the sower, to put some of that magic into the soil. It means that the sacred seeds aren't gone, that the Druid King's regalia will return, someday. Until that time, we'll need to protect this tree, nurture it. I'll make sure that all the circles know. We'll find a way to do it together. Trust has to start somewhere, but we still need to gather the elders and form a new Drafa. After that, I'll broach the subject. In the meantime, I'll commune with the tree, with the growing seeds, and I'll be here when they finally blossom. I think that's everything, my friend. Thanks again for helping me honor Free's request. I hope Free made their decision. Without their sacrifice, none of us would have survived the volcano's eruption. Oh, Free will commune with me if they're able, but every spirit binding is different. Some can communicate freely, others can only share impressions. And then...
Nice to get off my feet.
Back to normal. Thanks to you, stranger.
Taking that aroma, folks. That's the Chef Razi's guarantee. You there, Trevor. You look as adventurous as my taste buds. Care to help the greatest chef in Cameo? Well.
Ready to ride.
I assure you, Lady Arabelle, I'm more committed than ever to the Society of the Steadfast's mission of peace.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Captain. Ah, good, you're back. Captain Marguerite and I were just having the most illuminating discussion, dear. Other than some misdirection at the end, Lord Bacaro never allowed his clandestine activities with the Ascendant Order to spill over into the Society of the Steadfast. Yes, dear, I am. Captain Marguerite's reputation is impeccable, and I've begun to study their ledgers. Nothing is amiss. I'll get someone I trust to perform a thorough investigation, but the Society has done too much good to shut it down now. Just about. Preparations are underway at All Flags Islet, but I have a task for you. I'd like you to invite Count Stefan, Druid Laurel, and Druid Ravana for the talks. They deserve to have a voice in the proceedings. I think Zaji and Casca should get to see the negotiations unfold, but to have them participate, oh goodness no. Count Stefan will be at Castle Mornard, and Druid Laurel should be in the Vines District in Bastille.
Blight it all. We have to find a way for the circles to work together.
The Elder Tide are willing, but we have yet to choose new leaders, and we still distrust the Fire Song.
The Fire Song are aware of our mistakes. We don't expect forgiveness, but we want a chance to make amends. I promise our next leader will have less aggressive aspirations.
Blight and damnation. Trying to get the druid circles to agree on anything is like trying to herd fawns. But you're not here to deal with my problems. Not this time. What can I do for you, my friend? Really? After you just saw my negotiating skills in action? Wait, and just between us, the talks with the druid circles aren't going too badly. I just lose patience. What? Did Stefan say something? What are you asking? Count Stefan and I are getting along fine. Never better. And I'd rather not talk about this at the moment, if that's all the same to you.
Taking that aroma, folks. That's the Chef Razi's guarantee.
Rogue knights, druid prophecies, erupting volcanoes.
Was all this bloodshed really the result of a druidic prophecy, Galpin?
I'm afraid so, Feda. Sometimes religious conviction can drive even the best of us to do...
Captain Marguerite was as good as her word. Get those supplies distributed at once.
Right away, Count Stefan.
Friend, welcome back to Castle Mornard. Lady Arabelle told me to trust Captain Marguerite, and so far so good. The Society of the Steadfast restarted their relief efforts, and things have been moving smoothly ever since. Does she now? And what role would a minor count play in discussions concerning the greater fate of all of Tamriel? No, forgive me, friend. It's just been a lot lately. Of course I'll attend. Is there anything Lady Arabelle needs of me? Ah, yes. After all this trouble, such a request isn't all that surprising. Very well. Tell Lady... How my father ever accomplished anything with the constant parade of supplicants and requests, I'll never understand. No, it's not all that bad. Stressful. Yes, but rewarding in its own...
Make sure the Pounce is ready to sail the moment Queen Irene calls for us.
The Pounce is ready. I could use some quiet time for a change.
Maybe you spoke. Always a pleasure, Five Claw. But you all... Zaji and Casca are invited? Well, as Zaji and Casca will leave for the... There is always a chance, Five Claw.
Friend, what a pleasant surprise. What brings you back here so soon, friend? Not another danger to the archipelago, I hope. I'm neither an elder nor an archdruid. Shouldn't Lady Arabelle invite one of them? I'm pleased that Lady Arabelle thought to include the druids of the archipelago in the peace talks. As you have seen. Perhaps one day, but I'm much too young to be called an elder. Don't you agree? As for archdruid, one doesn't just receive that accolade. Only druids of...
I'm not sure why the Lordling invited me to this, and I'm not sure why I decided to come. I suppose it's interesting to see how the various alliances...
Five Claw! Isn't this exciting? Oh.
You know, this is my first visit to this islet. It was closed off and abandoned for so long. I'm glad to see the efforts they've done to renovate it and make it presentable. Don't mind me, I ramble when I get nervous.
Hello, mate. I understand that what's about to happen here...
Over here, dear. I see everyone has arrived. Well done, dear. And oh, just the usual hemming and hawing. I just applied my natural charisma.
I'm pleased that Lady Arabelle thought to include the druids of the archipelago in the peace talks. As you have seen, events on the mainland reach even to our distant shores.
I heard what Lady Arabelle told you. Well, you can't...
Lord Bacaro a villain. Rogue knights collaborating with druids. And what was that about sea elves? This visit to the archipelago has been one surprise after another. I owe you a lot, friend. You saved my life, and you saved my... I've ignored the druids of the archipelago for too long. The few I've met over the years seem, well, quaint, eccentric. I thought their insistence on clinging to the ancient ways was harmless. But I forgot about the dark. The weirds of High Rock distance themselves from politics, but the druids of old, why in oblivion not? I've been here this long, what's another few days? If the Breton legacy... Oh, not about the whole Ascendant Lord and murder thing, but about finding someone other than one of us to sit on the throne. I can't imagine Irene or Yoren agreeing to bow down to me willingly, and I feel the same way. We'll just have to see.
You talk to High King Emmerich so easily. Have you ever read some of his writing? He's actually a very talented author.
There you are. And the hero of the day again. I knew we weren't done with you. That's what my father would expect. But I don't feel that I'm quite done here yet. I wouldn't say that. I came here to do a job, and I think it can still be done. He won't be happy about the way Lord Bacaro manipulated him. But when I explain what happened here, and what...
My friend, I am not in the habit of asking for favors, but she's gone traveling. After that business with her mother and the tourney, I encouraged her to... It's a signet ring representing my family's business. Thank you so much. Hopefully Aurelia will exercise a little wisdom and stay put. According to her letter, we should find her at the Screaming Mermaid Inn on Stros Mackay. Of course. It's been a pleasure to travel with you since that day at the tourney, but we haven't had much of a chance to chat about my past. What would you like to know? I'm not sure, she didn't say. If I had to guess, I would never... Yes, of course I'm a fan of romance novels. What woman in the Knightly Order is not? Have you read Desires of the Sword? My father and the late Lord Jorvel were friends. When it came time to see to my education, the knight, since I was old enough to hold a branch and pretend to fight Daedra, as much as I can, but they're often out of town on business. It's not made of gold or studded with gems, no. But signet ring... That...
I like to think I'm not easily fooled. But not in 1,000 years would I have guessed that Lord Bacaro was the revelation that these talks were merely part of the Ascendant Lord's plan to seize power makes it difficult. But as far as we can tell, the Society of the Steadfast Intentions are pure. Bacaro wanted to prove his worth. Show us that by blood and circumstance, he was the best suited to take power. Instead, through his actions as the Ascendant Lord, Emmerich, Ansgar, and I learned that we could actually work together. I think so, yes. I've come to believe that Emmerich and Ansgar want...
You know, Queen Irene
Your
seems
attention,
like
please.
the kind of person
Lady
I'd like to
Arabelle
get an ale
requests
with.
that everyone join her in the reception hall. Friend, may we speak? Finally, we get a moment to ourselves. I did want to speak with you before Lady Arabelle gets on with the important business. I wanted... Damn, this went better in my head. I've never been as good at speaking my mind as my father was, or Archdruid Raval. Now, he was an orator. Sorry, I'm babbling. Let me start over. Thank you for everything, my friend. Now don't start with that sort of nonsense. Of course I need to thank you. You saved us all. What kind of count would I be? What sort of friend? If I didn't let you know how much what you've done for us means to me. All right, I've taken up enough of your time. I know how eager Lady Arabelle is to get the peace talks underway. We'll talk later. Now go speak to Lady Arabelle and let her know everything is ready for her to begin.
Have I mentioned how much I detest public speaking? Goes against all my training as a spy and agent of the king. I'm supposed to hear all the important bits of dialogue, not recite them. Ah, well, before all that, Yes, I do. As we conclude this business with Lord Baccaro and the Ascendant Order, I want you to know how much your help has meant to me. Take this as payments for services above and beyond the call of duty. Now, I have a speech to deliver, my dear. We stand here today because of Lord Baccaro, what he brought together through the Society of the Steadfast, and what he tried to bring about as the Ascendant Lord. Instead of dividing us, instead of defeating and conquering us, he showed us what's possible when we work side by side. And through the courage and sacrifice of many of the people gathered here, as well as the nature spirit free, we persevered and won the day. Now to our royal guests, I say, let's recognize our friend, and then start the talks.
Our friend has performed above the call of duty. I name them Champion of the Covenant.
Not so fast, Emmerich. I name them Champion of the Dominion.
Then I name them Champion of the Pact.
Your Majesties, please. All of that would never fit on the medal. Let's just agree on Champion of the Alliances, shall we?
Oh, very well.
I can live with that.
If you insist.
This is the part of the story I hate the most, when we must inevitably say goodbye. As much as I try to avoid it, I have a terrible habit of growing... My contract with the Society of the Steadfast doesn't end until the peace talks conclude, and who knows how long the Alliance leaders will yell at each other now that they've finally started. After that, some travel, some writing, some time to relax. Truthfully, I'm not sure. I hope Emmerich and the others can work something out. There's been more than enough blood spilled over the Ruby Throne for my taste. Alas, things like this aren't up to me. I do think there's a chance, though, thanks to you. I rarely have to look, dear. They seek me out. I would like a little time to recover from this ordeal, though. My old bones don't spring back like they once did. And I really want to find someone to, let's say, share a bottle or two with. Yes? These accusations that I'm some clandestine writer of tawdry thrillers are beginning to rankle, dear. I understand that the next Vale novel will feature an unlikely location, a new romantic interest, and a villain of epic proportions. Or so I heard.
I assume you're off on another adventure after this. Take me with you. I'm not sure I'm ready to deal with the responsibilities that come with my new title. No. Both my father and Archdruid Raval taught me better than that. It is tempting, though, to pick a direction and just go. But there are challenges to take on right here in the archipelago. I think I'm actually looking forward to them. Dual heritages. Do you refer to Bretons being half-elf, or are you talking about my noble versus druid upbringing? Well, either way, there's nothing to reconcile. All of that is a part of me. Makes me who I am. If anything, I want to make use of it all. I think I have more than enough on my plate with Galen and building better relations with the Druids. But I don't believe in the feud that has plagued the noble houses of the Sisters for years. If High Isle needs help, House Mornard will provide it. After all that has happened, I suppose I can confide in you. I'm going to ask Druid Laurel to stay in Vastir. Help me as a liaison between the city and the Druid circles. And if we also find time to renew a friendship of old, well, we shall see.
You'd think the Knight Commander would have a nicer office. Well, if I must work here while my own wing of the castle undergoes repairs, I may just have to do some redecorating.
Hey, good looking. Did you miss me? I did go back to the mainland, but a new opportunity went sideways and it seemed prudent to disappear again. You know how it is. And I never miss a party. That's one of the 3 inalienable rules I live by. The other 2 fluctuate, depending. I would like to see how the peace talks turn out. And Lady Arabelle implied she might have more work for me. Something more substantial than ferrying messages. I think she plans to ask me to be her partner. What? It could happen.
The Society of the Steadfast will continue to provide help wherever it is needed. Whether war or disaster, we will be there to heal, to feed, and to shelter. I give you my word. Lord Bacaro's treachery was his alone. The Society's mission remains.
Well, that's done. What's next for us, I wonder? I do like it here on Galen, and I enjoy spending time with Laurel and Stefan. But I'm an adventurer at heart. The sea calls to me. Perhaps we'll cross paths again, mate. Stranger things have happened.
So much death and destruction because a man spoke a few words in the ancient past. I think I may have learned as much as I care to about the Druid King. Now I need to look to the future. We all do. And we can, thanks to you. Well, not completely. There are still mysteries to solve, secrets to learn. But I also need to concern myself with the present, the future. What's next for the Stone Lore and the Druid circles? How do we move forward from here? I do love a challenge. Free isn't gone. They just found a new purpose. And by their actions, they calmed. The remaining elders and archdruids are talking. They'll call a Drafa soon. Then, we'll see. We have to make sure the Fire Song return to the true path. And we have to learn to trust them. To trust each other. Again. Ifrey will guide us. Stefan suffered some great losses. We all did. But he's strong. He'll make a good leader for Galen. And the Druids are already responding to his overtures. Oh, you mean... that's rather personal. Even for us. But Stefan and I... we'll see.
You and Count Stefan have given the Elder Tide much to consider. We always guarded these islands against outsiders. Pirates, yes, but also nobles, settlers, and townsfolk. Now I see we may find friends where once we saw enemies.
My circle lost its way under Archdruid Orlaith. Some of us knew it, but we had gone too far. All we could do was fight on and hope that Orlaith's victory would be worth the price. I regret the things we did and promise to make up for it. Prophecy and faith are powerful things, outsider. And Orlaith told very convincing stories with her words. It's true that a small number of Firesong cling to Orlaith's lies. But the rest of us, we want to make amends. Work with the other circles and see what comes of Count Stefan's overtures. We'd like to be part of the future of the archipelago.
Look around, friend. All these people are here because of you. I don't know what we would have done without you.
Now the discussions to resolve seasons of conflict begin. This is an important moment, friend, and you made it happen. Even if the peace talks fail, good things will come of this. They must. And know that you always have a place with the Stone Lore.
Congratulations, friend. You earned every honor the Society and the other alliances want to bestow on you.
Let me add my thanks to all these accolades, my friend. Your courage and resolve stopped a true villain from gaining terrible power, and you saved many lives. You have the gratitude of the Aldmeri Dominion, and of its queen. Let me add my thanks.
Well done, my friend. Well done. The Daggerfall Covenant will not forget your actions here in the archipelago, and on a more personal note, neither will I. Now, we can get on with these blasted talks. Finally. Thanks to you.
Zaji worries about...
Peace. I wonder if they'd really do it. I've grown to respect all three leaders in the time we've been assisting them, but I know these are not easy waters to sail. Anyway, if you ever need us, Five Claw, just send word to the Perfect Pounds.
Are we ready to begin, Your Majesties?
I suddenly feel extremely humble.
Well, gentlemen, shall we?
I suppose we shall. We did endure much to get to this point, after all.
Then let us see how possible peace may be.
I'm not sure why the Lordling invited me to this, and I'm not sure why I decided to come.
I assume you're off on another... No. Both my father and I...
This is the part of my contract with the society. This is the part of the story I hate the most. When we must...
Well?
These tremors...
I hear the tremors are even worse.